All right, excellent afternoon, viewer. It is another Thursday afternoon, and you are on to Real Talk with Kike, the talk show where conversations are real. I'm not just here alone. I'm with my exciting, opinionated co-host. Hello, Marshall in the building. Damilola in the building.
You know, I like this.
How you guys doing?
Okay. I like
Marshall and I were in the spirit together, in pink.
You people just finished Valentine.
Well, I didn't leave the other wife out.
Yeah, because I see the touch of black.
With the black.
Yeah, Kashimawo, MKO, peace to the generation, peace.
Hi, Kike.
How you guys doing?
You look
good.
splendid. You look
No,
cute.
splendid is an understatement. I thought I saw a real life Barbie for the first time. I'm like, damn.
I heard you say that.
Jesus, I wish I was a man. That's
Oh,
God.
really?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
But
I'm the
just-
man.
Oh, they're drawing up my logo boy.
The Maduro is the exact one that God will prepare a table before you in the presence of whoever.
All right, how you guys doing? Dami, how did you spend your Valentine? You were not here on Tuesday.
Valentine has passed. I did not have boyfriend. But anyway, it was fun. We had fun. We checked the Instagram. We checked Facebook and Twitter. I mean, Nigeria is a cruise country already, so we followed the cruise. Plus the, you know, even after we spoke about audio gifting, somebody still gifted himself audio gift on that day.
Oh my goodness.
I think it's just turned out to be a joke after all. You know, people just do it just to get excited.
Then, of course, maybe clouds. If you feel that your career is like sleeping and you want to wake it up.
So that's the way to go about
it.
Interesting.
How's the Bobrisky tattoo coming around?
That's another conversation for another day.
All
right, guys. So listen to our session titled "On This Day in History." We'll be right back.
On this day in history, in 1977, exactly 44 years ago, a communal compound known as Kalakuta Republic, located at 14 Agege Motor Road, Idioro, Lagos, was burned to the ground by members of the Nigerian military. The Kalakuta Republic had been Fela and Nikolakwo Kuti's residence for almost a decade at the time. During the attack, Fumilayo Ransom Kuti, Fela's mother, was thrown out of a first-floor window. She died 8 weeks later. The raising of Kalakuta was a backlash from Fela's record, Zombie, which criticized Nigeria's military government. This attack was carried out under the tenure of military head of state, General Olusegun Obasanjo. Fela wrote the song, Coffin for Head of State, to describe how he and his followers carried his mother's coffin to General Olusegun Obasanjo at Dodan Barracks.
All right, that was on this day in history. You know, Marshall, listening to this, that's exactly 44 years ago. The first woman who drove a car in Nigeria was murdered. And let me say, the lessons I've picked from this video is that, you know, regardless of his pain, his disappointment, and what happened to him, at least Fela was able, our son was able to channel that energy into productivity by releasing a music. I'm not saying that people shouldn't air their voices, but in today, our own time, lots of people will go into violence. There are a lot of things that would have happened. I hope that people can pick a lesson from it and channel whatever pain, whatever disappointment you might have gone through or you might be going through into positivity that other people can learn from. Exactly 44 years ago, this happened in Idioro, you know, close to Musholosha, so to speak, because I remember that area properly because my grandmother has loads of shops around that place, and I used to visit the place when I was younger. What do you have to say to this?
Well, for me, it's the birth of activism. It's the birth of the Aluta spirit. Carrying the mother's cups. No one would have thought that, you know, you would be able to do that even in the times that we are now, you know, taking the mother's cup to Dodan Barrack and asking the government to come and take possession of that corpse and bury it. It's a sign of outright activism. It gave birth to the Aluta spirit. And each time you play the music, that Zombie, and you get to that part where he narrates how the mother died and how he wants Obasanjo to come pick up the corpse, it spurs up something in you, you know.
Dami.
Well, It's a mixed reaction from you already, because when you were saying, okay, it's the best breath of positivity, I like the problem that happened in 1977, we are still inside that problem. Because the problem just left us like October 20th. Nobody can explain what happened in 77, and nobody's still explaining what happened October 20th, 2020. So it looks like, my people will say, Ojogate, Ojogate. It looks like Gat, it does not look like Gat.
The unknown soldier.
So we're still in that problem. Despite that it has given birth to true activism and okay, democracy has come afterwards. But what are we getting? Where are we exactly from 1977? Does 44 years speak any change at all?
Still exists.
These zombies still exist, and they are still operating the same way. Like, we have the power, we have the autonomy, we do what we want at will. I mean, there was no justice for that case. There was no justice.
Great point from Dami right there. I think that we should go on a quick break and just digest all what we've said here. We will look, and when we come back, we'll look into the topics of the day. We'll be right back. This is a word from our sponsors. All right, welcome back, guys. We are going to examine the talk points on Buhari's appointment and recommendation of Abdulrasheed Bawa to the Senate as the new EFCC chairman. Excellent afternoon, Mr. Wilson. Yeah, Mr. Wilson, can you hear me, please?
I can hear you.
All right, it's a pleasure to have you on the show today. And this is Mr. Wilson, the head of media of EFCC, who will be conversing with regarding the new appointment of Bawa. So my first question to you, Mr. Wilson, is that many people, let me say that, don't let me tilt it to Nigerians alone, are just hearing the name Abdulrasheed Bawa, and for the first time, I believe, they are paused that Buhari did not choose to appoint a known figure, perhaps from the police force. In brief, tell us who Bawa is with respect to this appointment.
Nigeria EFCC in the last 15 or 16 years, they may not have come across the name Bawa. But those who are related with the commission will probably have come across that name before. I would say that he belongs to the first generation of operatives to have been trained by the EFCC. He joined in 2005 and belongs to the EFCC Cadet Course 1. That is
all right.
his first set of operatives that were trained since that time. His career trajectory, various sections of the EFCC, and I can say without any fear of contradiction that he belongs to the cream of the finest operatives that we have in the commission.
Okay, sir. I'm going to speak about regarding. We know that we have this not too young to rule kind of thing these days. We're sponsoring the bill of not too young to rule. So I'd like to ask, now that Buhari has appointed a young man, do we feel that, or is he going to make a difference in the governance of the EFCC as a whole?
Well, I share the optimism of most Nigerians, especially those who are young. This is probably an option. It gives the youth the opportunity to prove that.
I have to go on break to try to reconnect, what's it called, Wilson again. We'll be right back. All right, apologies for the, the electrical issue, the technical issues right there. And we're having challenges trying to connect virtually to our guests. I think that we might have to connect to him via audio right now. But, listen to you guys with the little you have said. I know quite a number of people have an issue with how youthful he is, regarding his appointment. But if you ask me, is it something that I like the fact that they took somebody from the system to come and lead the organization, so to speak, because many a time we've seen in the past where they'll just bring somebody else to come and lead them I don't think that even helps the morale of the people in the first thing first. Secondly, when they bring other people to come and head the organization, at some point they tend to lord over the people that are there. Thirdly, it's the fact that, you know, the fact that is young, is youthful, do you understand, is not, apologies if I'm going to use this word, that is not an older person who have all sorts of distraction. What do I mean by distraction? That he doesn't have 3-4 wives and all of that, that would affect his deliverable, so to speak. I actually admire that. What do you think before we connect to our guest?
Okay, I think, okay, let me, the man in the house.
Dami, I think you've just, you hit it running when you were asking about not too young to run and all of that. It's the rave of the moment at the time. And like you said, you know, picking somebody from the crop of, he is one of the pioneer staff of the EFCC, and he's also grown up the ladder, and it's good to see that he's at that age leading the state.
All right, so I believe that we are connected to Wilson right now, the head of media of EFCC. So, you know, Mr. Wilson, listening to you and listening to us as well with what you've said earlier, the question now is, I might have to ask you this question, because quite a number of people find his youthfulness or age as a requirement for delivery on the job. So the question now is, I know that the merit and experience stands for him in terms of the new appointment, but what do you have to say to this with the reaction, the mixed reaction from the public? Do you think that what has happened now, do you think that it's been politicized in terms of his position?
No, I don't see any politics in this appointment. The fact is that the young man has been in the system for close to 16 years, and he has gone through all the sections of the commission. In terms of experience, he has the experience to lead the EFCC, and I think that is what is most important in this appointment. The issue is, does the young man has the experience to carry the burden of leading a strategic agency like the EFCC? The answer is yes. He has passed through all the section, and he has headed at least 3 zonal offices of the commission. His last appointment is as zonal head of the Lagos office of the commission was extremely strategic, because Lagos is the hub of operations of the EFCC. So experience-wise, he has all it takes to lead the EFCC at this very point in time, and we expect the best from the appointment.
So Wilson, when you say he has all it takes, and that's just what matters, it begs my curiosity, because I do know that, well, let me put it to you as a question. What would you say is the level of independence of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, from the Ministry of Justice and the Attorney General? We've seen interference come from that quarter.
If you're talking about independence of an agency, I think in terms of law enforcement, there's no agency that enjoys the kind of independence that EFCC has. Look at record of convictions. Look at the recoveries that we have made. If we are not an agency that stands alone, we will not be able to do that. If you have a external body telling you what to do, you will not be able to achieve those kind of feats. But we all know that the AGF has a responsibility when it comes to criminal prosecution. I think that is where our relationship is interlinked. You cannot do some prosecution without the fiat from the office of the Attorney General of the Federation. So necessarily we must have to cooperate to do the work. But I don't think that in discharging his duty as AGF that he interferes with the daily activities of the EFCC. The AGF is just a supervisor, and there's a limit to which the supervisor can interfere in the day-to-day running of the agency.
Wilson, listening to you, you know, I know that the Anti-Graft Commission with, what will I say that, what's a paramount concern regarding the public in terms of its performance of this agency regarding EFCC? How can you describe the performance and achievement of the agency in recent times before Bawa was appointed?
I think the EFCC over the years has emerged as perhaps the
I think we're still having issues on the technical issue, you know.
Okay, I was going to ask basically, like, we know that when you have the head and the head is good, the neck might be faulty. Now, regarding the persons or the officials that the new EFCC chairman is going to be working with,
yeah,
I have a major concern around this area.
I know.
Are they going to let him be him, do him, and restructure that agency? Or at the end of the day, we'll have it like 20 against 1.
Also, especially when
And
the police arm has been, asked to be taken out
Out
of
of so how well are they going to let him discharge these duties, knowing fully well that he's going to be head to, of course, some people who is younger to age-wise, experience-wise. And you know this our Nigerian
hierarchy
thing and of our myopic kind of thinking.
Okay, if Wilson is still there, let's have him respond.
All right, we've lost Wilson right now, but listening to you guys, I wish that we can connect back to Wilson where
I really want to know.
All right, so I've been told that we have Wilson back on our phone lines, So Wilson, I don't know if you can hear me. Can you confirm if you can hear me, please?
I can hear you.
All right, many thanks on that. Can you kindly clear the air on the conversation surrounding the sales of 244 trucks worth between 20 to 30 million each in 2019 regarding Bawa that is going on social media right now?
I think I've already clarified that in the statement I issued 2 days ago. There is no issue about selling 244 trucks. The trucks that they are talking about were actually auctioned through public auction after Bawa had left the Port Harcourt zonal office of the commission. So people who are writing and alleging that he supervised the sale of seized 244 trucks and diverted the proceeds are simply mischief makers. That does not exist at all. There was a public auction, a publicly supervised public auction, and he was no longer in Port Harcourt when that exercise took place.
Okay, I'd like to find out from Wilson. Is he the Abdulrasheed Bawa right now? Is he or is he not related to the former pensions boss, Abdulrasheed Mena?
All right.
No, I think if you are talking about Abdulrasheed Mena, I think that's a mistake. The personal relationship of Mr. Bawa to the AGF is not within my knowledge, so I will not be able to confirm that now. I have not discussed that with him. I don't know what kind of relationship he has with the AGF. That I can't confirm at the moment.
So I would like to take my question again because it was when we had interference with the network system. I was asking that will he be allowed to discharge his duties as the new boss of EFCC? Looking at everything that has surrounded the EFCC in the last 1-2 years and even relooting some recovered loot. I know that, of course, he is going to be the head of some other people, some other officials that are well experienced maybe by age or by even qualification. Are we expecting him to make some changes as regards his immediate cabinet that will be working with him, or they will just let it flow as usual? Because if we have, like I said, if we have the head good and the neck is faulty, I mean, the head will not balance. So is that going to be a kind of change, or he will just proceed with the officials?
I think every Nigerian wants an effective EFCC. Even the appointing authority, the government, also want an effective EFCC. Given that I don't expect anyone to stand in the way. We all desire that this agency should run effectively. And we have a young man now who's coming with a lot of experience, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of youthful energy. And I believe that the nation owes him a duty to allow him the latitude to tinker with the agency the way he wants and run the affairs of the EFCC and deliver results to the ordinary Nigerians. All of us want corruption to be fought to a standstill. And here we see a young man coming now who has all the potentials to do this for us. And it is the interest of all of us to rally around him, support him in every way we can so that he will achieve success in this assignment.
to be with us on this launch hour. I know that the network have been very erratic, but as the head and of media and publicity, all the anti-graft agency, you have shed light on some of the arguments on our social media surrounding his appointment. But, you know, we'll go on a quick break and return after a word from our sponsors. Do not touch that dial. This is Real Talk with Kike. All right, many thanks for still staying on to Real Talk with Kike. If you're just joining us, we are on the second segment of the show today, and we are making our conversation real, because that's what the show is all about. So we will be discussing Churchy Hill and Rosie, what's her name again? Saga. It's been quite a talk on the streets of social media, and many people have looked at the saga from grounds of morals, rights, womanhood, even hypocrisy, and what a saga, I must say, you know. And you know, before we go into this discussion, I'm glad, and I want to use this medium to put an affirmation out there against those who thought Tonto Dikeh was actually mad with allegation against Churchy Hill in 2017, and time has definitely shown to the world that who was saying the truth, who was a liar and a cheat. And when a woman comes out, let me use this opportunity to say this, that with an allegation, let's respect her claims. We should not jump into conclusion that she is insane and doesn't know what she is saying, because this is a matter of the heart. And I've seen quite a number of women drive into depression. You know, Marsha, let me start with you, because you are the man on the table. What do you have to say to this saga?
The way you said drive into depression and you drove into me, I was wondering, do I know anybody that has driven into depression? Well, it's a sad one. I heard what's her name again? Rosie's interview, and denying the allegation that when it was put to her by a media, and she was saying, no, this guy was her mentor. There's nothing wrong in being close to somebody who wants to, you know, furnish you with some
level of
lifestyle and influence and all of that. And then she flipped in that interview. You could see the turnaround, and you could see that she became angry. She rebuffed the person, and it was outright denial. It was false denial that she was involved. You could see that she was involved with this man. And then down the line, now we're just seeing in the course of their son's birthday, the guy wishing him happy birthday and saying 2 years and strong. It's pathetic. And I just truly wish that Tonto Dikeh would have the courage, like so many women have had, the courage to move on.
I think she's moved on. She's moved on really good. But moving on has to do with your mind. If you do not go back to your closet and sulking. I think for my own self, see, there's a difference between, I saw some bashes and saying that you cannot inherit your friend's enemy or the enemy of your friend, and fine, the way life is positioned, person don't know helper, person don't know who go help, but loyalty is key. If I align with Kike and somebody is messing Kike up, you do not expect me to just embrace that person. Firstly, I need to know, okay, why these differences are happening. Then secondly, I need to know who stand on whose side. There's one thing with Nigerians, our loyalty is like dangling an apple. This pendulum bulb.
Do you want to be loyal to somebody who's faulty? Who's at fault, or rather?
No, are you joking? It depends on what and what the person means to you. Yes, you might accept that, oh, Masha fuck up, but I think we Masha.
It should be inside.
It should be inside. You deal with it inside.
But publicly, I'm going to hold your hands.
You defend for you.
And
You defend
support
it.
you.
Then I'll tell you inside that that's the way you do. You fuck up. Now the level. But the way
Choice
it
of
is,
words.
The way choice of words. But the way it is, I'm sorry. Yes, there was. They say if you did not work out for where the thief goats, I'm sorry. They're not going to say. They're not going to ask you if you see the goat. It's been my brother or my friend. Oh, he helped me. If it was genuine, there's nothing wrong with it. But I know that Nigerians, a lot of times, it happened with even the MC Oluomo and Saga. Then she came out later to say she never denied it. Do you understand? There's a level of, what will people say? How will they perceive me? If you want to do it, go in with your chest that you are doing it. But people tongues will wag. People will talk. 3 months.
I just feel Churchill doesn't have any... he doesn't have any conscience to be out, moral responsibility to be out on social media and announcing that marriage, which he vehemently denied, you know. But Kike, my thought, I would really want to pick your brains on this. On the current stance of Tonto Dikeh and the harmony she seems to be portraying with the union that the husband is having with Rosie, because I see that also, I see her, throwing that harmony on social media. What would you say to that?
Let me start by saying I try as much as possible to stay away from conversations like this because it reminds me of my past. And I would say that I will applaud Tonto Dikeh for her silence because those silence were golden, and it also shows that she's matured and she's letting time fight for her and that's what I think sometimes we don't have people around us to guide us on how to react. I remember when this news broke, Marshall, 2017, quite a number of people said a lot of things. First thing first, I stand to be corrected. Toto appears as somebody who has a temper. So when you are dealing with a lady, a woman who has a temper, and it has to do with something of the heart, something that's got to do with love, what you would see is rage. Yeah. And that's exactly what you saw in 2017, why people said, oh, Toto was on drugs. Well, she was on drugs, that she was running mad. And again, she wasn't really that loved by the society or by the people because of her past actions on different things, which I really don't want to go into right now. But I just want to say that she's exhibited a lot of maturity since this news broke, and her silence for me is golden. And I want to say that the winner right now is the public courts, because the public courts right now have come together to see that, this lady right here was actually right. And that is one thing that women need to, stick to. Your intuition. Women, God has given us. Our intuition, our guts doesn't fail us. All right, so I need to say this to those listening to me right now. Women should stop saying that they are friends or close friends with a man, because in a society where morals have been flung into the ocean, under the carpet, they keep giving the public wrong impression about, oh, he's my brother, oh, he's my this, he's my that, and all of that. Because we know as of today's day that quite a number of people who are close friends, it takes a woman to take it further when it comes to relationship. And I know that many men today, they are moved by what they see. Many men today, by talking to you, you don't know what triggers other men to say that, I like that Milola based on the friendship you have. And again, women in a marriage should also continue the good work. I must say that when you have morals, you have value, you have work ethics that you're still driving on. You don't need a man to validate you. I'm sorry to say that you don't need the society also to validate your existence, because that is part of the challenges we are facing today. It is pretty disappointing that Rosie had the audacity, and I say again, the audacity to come publicly to wish Tonto Dikeh's son a happy birthday, especially with the controversy surrounding the relationship, the marriage. Every woman should respect the space of others. The fact that she is married to Churchy doesn't make him related to Tonto Dikeh. The fact that she's related, doesn't make her the explicit stepmother of the child. Tonto has not acknowledged you. It should have been polite for you to at least send her a message privately, if you have a phone number, to wish the son happy birthday, or better still, just come out. But for you to now come out on social media to send our wishes, what guts, I must ask. No decorum, what audacity. We'll go on a break and we'll be right back.
Oh, thank you for that.
All right, many thanks for tuning in. If you're just joining us on Real Talk with Kike, we keep it real here, and of course, whatever thing that is happening right now is what affects us all individually in our private life. But let me use this opportunity to open our phone lines to get some public real talk, some public reaction, to share some of your real talk on the show today regarding the first or second segment of our discussion today. Let's digress a little bit from the angle. What another angle will you be coming from with the saga of Toto, Churchy and
Rosie? With the saga on ground now, I want us to look into what happened to Tony Abraham. This lover, if they give this lover autonomy, they have scattered this country already. But thank God that we are all behind keypads. Because now, when some certain news fly, look at when it happened to Toyin. Everybody was castigating her because she was involved with the other guy, Shiwe Bebe. Do you understand? Nobody saw her own side of the story. Nobody understood his. Like you said, it's a thing of the heart. Do you understand? And now that God, in his infinite mercy, decided to bestow his goodness upon the young woman, she's happy. I was seeing her live video with her husband, and they were just joking around, and the husband was like, where are you? Did you remember that you left your son at home? And she was like, Suru Jari, I will go home. You know, but when it happened then, it was like, it was the end for Toyin. But now, back to this very case, Toyin was involved with another man. Another man saw her and saw gold in her. Do you understand? Now, if you look at, Roslyn was too close to have had that kind of relationship with Churchill. Even if he had asked her, like, okay, I'll be my wife, then there's a way you just politely decline for your even mental health. You've been within this family all along before even Tonto got to Churchill as a wife. As she claimed, even as Churchill claimed that she's been a family friend from the onset, then it's not that person. I mean, my people will say, she'll be returned. If woman
Masha, what's your take on this?
Wow. It's so exhausting to hear you guys talk about this, but I know the angle.
It's you people
that
used to cause the problem.
And the pain you're coming from. Well, the honest truth is, these things happen. You know, it's because here is Tonto Dikeh and it's Churchill and it's Rosie. These are people that are in the limelight. These are people that are
public figures,
celebrities in the public space. And then these are also people that have dominated the social media. So it now appears as if the whole world is coming down on them and us. But I don't really think it's out of this world. What I'd only take away from this is the strength that Tonto Dikeh has drawn from all of this. The embarrassment the Churchill has brought upon himself.
Men are embarrassing.
And the disappointment.
It's the agenda.
Don't say that. Don't generalize. If you said men are embarrassing, did you say that?
She said men can embarrass you. Then men will embarrass you with somebody that is not up to you sometimes.
Do not generalize. We're talking about Tonto Dikeh, Churchill and Rosie. Disappointing case. Thumbs up to Tonto Dikeh. We pray that you keep it strong
yeah.
And to the children involved, we pray that this doesn't affect them also in the future. And to the guy who's fooling himself on social media, I pray that he takes down his account and exit himself from social media and maintain some level of sanity and integrity.
This your kind of judgment is
all right, you know.
Can we hear from the
All
audience?
right, we have a call on our phone line, Lizzie from Surulere. Lizzie, what's your contribution on the show today? Hello, Lizzie.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Kike, how are
Lizzie,
you?
can you hear me, please?
I'm hearing
All right,
you.
apologies, I still cannot hear Lizzie. You know,
I love your
I agree
program.
with you from all the points that you've raised. It's not all men, so to speak,
No,
you know.
men
but at the end of the day, it's becoming really rampant because let's tilt a little bit towards our great grandparents. Hello, Lizzie, can you hear us?
I'm hearing you.
Apologies, I can't hear Lizzie at all. I don't know if you can hear Lizzie. It's unfortunate that during the time of our parents, of our late grandmothers and all of that. Lizzie, can you hear me now?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
All right. Many thanks for calling on Real Talk with Kike today. What's your contribution regarding the topic at hand?
My contribution, because what Tonto Dikeh, that lady is a snatcher. It's a wicked soul. He know that he's one causing the marriage. That marriage between Tonto Dikeh and Churchill is the one who caused the problem. Because whatever anybody saw in this life, you're going to see it in the front. So we see her son, everybody is very, very wrong.
All right, many thanks, Lizzie, for your contribution.
Because
you know,
I was actually going to say
we
those
have
who live in glass houses.
we have John on our phone lines. Hello, John. Where are you calling from? All right. So, you know, listening to what Liz is saying, you know, I must say this: men are not an object. Nobody is snatching the man. The man chose to live. Do you understand? Yeah. And whether we like it or not, yes, the other woman might have contributed to whatever challenges that might be going on during the marital issue at the time.
The man said she gave a shoulder.
But the fact that you know, I'm sorry to say this, and I stand to be corrected on all levels. I really do not believe on women supporting women. I'm sorry to say this, because many a time when you actually think back and sit back to analyze all these issues that we are facing in our world today, it is another woman that will bring the pain or the tears that another woman is going through. So sometimes when you read, when people say that, oh, women support women, empowering women and the likes and all of that, depending, there are just few women, let me say that, few
like
women
Kike
who can actually, you know, stay in terms of high morals, in terms of, you know, great attribute of, you know, values and the likes and all of that. And I think, Marshall, it's important for me to hear from you as a man to put a wrap to this conversation. What do you have to say? What do you have to tell the public right now in terms of trying to bring in positivity and educating the people who are listening to you?
Well, Kike, I think you've said most of it. The angle I'll take it from this second tranche of our discussion is the women supporting women angle. The fact that we don't see so much of solidarity from women to women, but we still hear a lot about women empowerment coming from women organizations. We still hear a lot from, look at what happened to the woman who was contesting for president in 2014, was that? And the kind of support she lost from the women folk. Yeah. So for me, I'll just take back the lesson from this to be that don't take everything you see on social media too seriously, because you don't have it, you can die on it.
Yeah, I think basically those who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
All right, many thanks on that. I think it's better for us to quickly go on our last segment. I didn't even know that time we ran out of time. You know, on our last segment of this show, we have the manager and the director of Ada Small in the building. That's a brand that I reckon with, especially with when it comes to shopping, grocery, and the good ambience that you might need. So we'll quickly go on a break. When we come back, we'll have our guest in the studio. Stay tuned. All right, many thanks for joining us. We have the general manager of Ada Small on set today. You know, George, it's good to have you on set today. You know, I know that Ada Small is turning second. On which day again? Please.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. And greetings from Ada Small. Our anniversary is on the 21st of February, this Sunday. However, we have a program we've been running since the 12th of February, rounding up to the 21st this week. Yes.
All right. Masha.
Okay, for me, it will be what challenge because we're in a time when COVID-19, Ada Small sprang up, and shortly after that, COVID-19 hit, and then the global economy went down, Nigerian economy going down. What challenges are there for you?
Well, basically, even with the COVID, it's been positive. We've realized that a lot of people basically will come out for food and drinks at this time. So that helps to grow the business with the pandemic. It hasn't been, it's been challenging though, but we've managed to live through it, basically.
I think I would like to ask, like, you are in a very close area with another competitor. Does it feel like snatching their people, or naturally when people walk in, they fall in love with Ada Small? And of course, we know what your competitor looks like, but Ada Small and the Eddie face, it feels like heavenly. Do you get that reaction from people coming and like, why am I even going to point A when point B is actually another sucker?
Yes, really. The good thing is competition is good, especially for the retail industry. It helps the business to begin to standardize and try and gain more patronage based on the fact that consumers' behavior, looking for quality of goods, looking for good price and convenience. So Ada Small came in and has changed the atmosphere, because our customer service happens to be one of the best ranked in terms of the retail today. I can say that anywhere, any place. And then the ambience that we've created as well. Once you come into our space, you fall in love. And there's a certain difference between the rest of the malls or supermarket. You walk in through it from the ground floor to the first to the second. So you begin to interact with the ambience as it is, yes. So, and we've gotten very good wow comments from our customers, and we're in the right position.
You're still keeping it
Of course,
real.
all right. I can testify to that when it comes to the ambience and, of course, different section of the mall. You know, but before we wrap up on all you've said thus far, what do you have to say to people regarding different sessions that Adas Mall are? What gives Adas Mall an edge over the competitors?
Yeah, so Adas Mall happens to be a one-stop shopping mall where you will have varieties of products ranging from groceries to the butchery. We have restaurants. We equally have the fashion and accessories. We have home accessories. We equally have the electronics. So, like I said, it's a one-stop shop. You can come in and get everything you want on one shopping list. Yes.
What's the meaning of others?
It's actually an acronym selected from the first letters of. It's a family business. Oh, okay. So it was
coined out from everybody's
break it down.
names.
All right, so we don't have all the time to do that right now.
Thank you. We got their gift.
Thank you.
You know, and let me use this
Adas.
opportunity to say many thanks to Adas Mall for all the gifts you showered us last week, Friday, for our Valentine. Of course, quite a number of people enjoyed in that kind gesture to us. And let me use this opportunity again to say many thanks for creating time to join us today. And of course, to come and create awareness on the 2nd anniversary. And a lot of discounts going on right now. If you go to Adas Mall till when again? 21st?
21st,
yes, 21st of this month. 80% discount all the way. Thank you for coming on the show. It was great having you on set. And we believe our viewers now have the ultimate choice for shopping, and that is Adas Mall.
Thank you, Adas. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so I think with everything that the guests have said today, which it's been real from all talks from different guests on the show today, let me just say this is where we draw the curtains of the show, and we will be end the show with what's it called again?
I think we have a song for the day.
Yeah, we have a song for the day. So we'll come your way next week Tuesday. Please keep staying real.
Keep being real.
And we'll see you
on Be patriotic, Nigerians. Love your brother.
So we're leaving you with this song.